Good afternoon, Farmily. Welcome back to Oak and Barrel Meats Farm. You know, Olivia, there's Lulu. Hey, Olivia. 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 Hey. Hi. Olivia and I were out here checking on the cows, and the cows they're right there. You can't really see them. They're hiding. They're hiding in the bushes in the shade. Anyways, we were out here checking on the cows, and I thought it might be fun to go around and just sort of give you a tour of the farm and the animals here, and just kind of talk about like why we have them, and yeah, just give you a rundown of who's who on the farm. So we'll start off with the cows. So we have a small herd of beef cows. They are red polls. We got them from a local rancher. They're a grass-fed genetics. Think we have 10 of them, and then we also have two, for lack of better terms, two mutt cows that we got from an auction. That they're not cows, they're actually bull calves. Two bull calves that we bottle raised. And yeah, so this is our cow herd, our beef herd, if you will. We range them through the property. We move them every other day to a new spot of grass. So I don't know if you can see, there's the white posts. You can see the difference in the grass from where they are and where they will go next. It's a little bit hard to see in the camera, but there is definitely a distinct line. So that's our beef herd. We do take those to the processor and sell the meat from those. This is a new animal for us on the farm. We've never raised beef cows before. We've always wanted to, but we've never been able to. We just didn't have the land for it, and we always wanted to be able to do grass-fed. And now that we have almost 100 acres, that's definitely something that we can do, and honestly something that we need to be doing, because these pastures, they need to be cut, and whether that's by mowing or grazing, we've got to take care of them. So we have the beef herd. And like I said, we move them about every other day to a new spot of grass. And yeah, we're pretty excited to have grass-fed meat to add to not only our freezer, but our online store, and offer that to our customers. So let's go check out the rest of the farm and see what we've got going. Are probably the biggest part of the farm. They're really where we got started. We started with raising meat chickens. Well, as you know, the farm started as a vegetable farm, and then we transitioned into meat, and the broilers were one of our first meats that we offered. We did add the pigs later on, and obviously we're adding beef and lamb here, but when we were in California, the broilers were the first meat that we added to the farm. We raise about 5,000 a year. We get about 400 a month, and raise them for the first 4 weeks in these brooders, where they're under heat for the first week to 2 weeks, and then as they get a little bit older and get feathered out, then we turn off their heat and get them acclimated to just kind of those cooler temps. We just gradually bump them down, and then they get moved out into the schooners. So like I said, the broilers are a big part of our farm business, and we do about 5,000 every year. We do raise Cornish cross, which we have found to be the fastest growing, most efficient, and honestly the best tasting bird with the most meat possible that we have had. They're absolutely delicious when raised out on pasture, and we really like them, and we know that our customers really like them. This is my herd of dairy goats. We have Nubians. I've had Nubians for going on 15 years now. I love my goats. Well, hate them. If you have goats, you know how much of a pain they can be, but also how sweet that they are. So these girls, all of these goats I bred and raised here. These are all from goats that I raised. Hey, baby. Except this little guy. This little guy I did buy when we got here, and I have intentions of him breeding these girls, but I'm just not sure if it's going to work out. He's a little bit smaller than what I thought he was going to be. So anyways, like I said, we do have Nubians. We do milk them. So everybody will be getting bred this fall to kid in the spring, and then we'll milk them through. And yeah, all of my girls have been raised on goat's milk. So they all love it. We love it. All of my kids have been raised on goat's milk, actually. They're very personable. They've been actually really great here on the farm for clearing brush in some of the areas that are hard to get to. Right now we have them near our pond, and they're doing a pretty good job of keeping that down. We also run them through the front hillside, and they do a really great job with keeping that cleaned up as well. Goats get a bad rap because they are a little bit tough to keep. The key to goats is making sure that they are fed and that they have friends. If they're not fed, if they're hungry and they don't have friends, they're probably not going to stay in the area that you want them to stay. But I love my goats, and I'm happy that we brought them with us. So we do have a flock of chickens that just kind of hang around the barnyard. There are 5 of them. I think there's 5 of them. We got these when we first moved here. The farm just felt not right without chickens here. So Ella and I found some chickens on Facebook Marketplace. We just went and picked them up, and they just cruise around. My plan for them is to eventually build them a run over by their chicken coop. They're right there. My plan for them is to eventually build them a run over by their chicken coop and really utilize them for making compost. Chickens are great compost makers. You throw all sorts of scraps and weeds, and they scratch through it and turn it and poop in it, and they make the best compost. So I really like using chickens like this for making compost. So these are our dairy cows. We have Annabelle and Oakley. Annabelle is approximately 3 years old. Oakley is about 8 months old. This is Oakley. She's a little heifer. We got Annabelle just a few months ago. She is bred. Well, I've been told that she's bred. I'm not positive. I don't think she looks bred, but regardless. We got Oakley at about a week old and bottle raised her. So my plan is to breed Oakley early in the year and have her calve in the fall for milking. We're not sure what the plan is with Annabelle. It just depends on if she is bred or not. But the basic plan for these two is for milk for our family and eventually possibly for sale. I've always wanted a dairy cow. I've never had cows before. The property that we had in California was just too small for what we wanted to do. We really wanted to be able to feed the majority of them on grass, and that's what we're doing right now. They have hay because we are actually getting ready to hay all of our fields, so we don't have them out on it. We're just feeding them some hay that we have. But I've always wanted to have a dairy cow. I've had dairy goats for years, and the cows always seemed sort of next level for me, and I always wanted to be able to make my own butter and cream and all that kind of stuff. So I'm super excited to have them. I love them. Oakley has been great. We've got her halter trained. Annabelle isn't quite halter trained. I hope after she calves and we get her in the stanchion and all that, we can really work on getting her some manners, if you will. But Oakley is pretty good, and we're excited to breed her, and I'm excited to get possibly other cows, but we'll see how that goes. Anyways, I love having the dairy cows. I just think they're so beautiful, and I love the jerseys. I mean, they're just so beautiful. So I'm really happy to have them here on the farm. So a new part of the farm for us, well, more of the homestead and family portion of the farm, are our bunnies. I had bunnies actually as a kid. We just had like the white standard bunny, I don't know what those are called, and we didn't do anything with it. It just kind of hung out in a cage. We got one at Easter time or something along those lines. And so when the kids started to get a little bit older, I thought, well, it might be fun to have some bunnies. So I ended up getting silver fox. These are called silver fox bunnies, and they actually need they need a good brushing, to be honest with you. They are actually I don't know if they're an endangered. I know that they're on the list, the Conservancy's list of a threatened breed. So I was really excited to get these two. These are males, and I actually am going to be picking up a couple of females real soon because I would love to breed them. But these are our two silver fox bunnies, Hazel and Thalely. If you have read Watership Down, you know exactly where those names come from. I figured it was perfect. I kind of had to do that. So yeah, so these are our silver fox, and what I do with these guys is they have these cages that have wide open squares on the bottom, and they get moved around in this whole barnyard area during the spring, summer, and fall. During the winter, they will go into the barn, and I will use that time to harvest poop from them to use in our garden beds. Rabbit poop is amazing fertilizer, so basically all winter long they poop, and I collect it in order to use that in our garden beds. But I really like having the bunnies. They're super cute, they're fun, and the girls really like them. And they're so soft. Their fur is just, it's just so soft. And I'm really excited to get the little females and hopefully have baby bunnies. So another new to us part of the homestead are our guinea hens. I've never had guinea hens before, and we got lots of ticks. And so I was told, and I've heard lots of people say, that guineas are great for getting ticks. So we have a small flock of guinea hens. I'm actually trying to increase our flock of guinea hens. I've got some eggs out here in a nest for them that I'm hoping that somebody will eventually sit on. And then I am actually hatching some in the incubator and plan to hatch more if possible. So right now we just have 3. We have one male. This is the male right here, and then the other 2 are females, and they are in one of our movable chicken coops, and so we just move them kind of around the perimeter of the front yard just to kind of help keep those ticks away from the house. I don't mind if there's ticks way out there. There's not much I can do about that, but if we can keep them away from sort of the yard where the girls play and that kind of stuff and where the dogs are, that would be great. And so what we do is we just move them around the perimeter of the yard. And so far, they've been okay. They haven't caused a whole lot of problem, and we like having them here. They have cool voices, and yeah, hopefully we can have more. I'd love to have more, maybe wandering around, more kind of free range as opposed to being locked up in here. We'll see though. But these are our guinea hens. We have 3 of them, and I really like them. So 2 really important parts of our homestead are our livestock guardian dogs. We have 2 livestock guardian dogs. We have a male and a female, Osu and Ivory. Osu came to us as a puppy. He was about 16 weeks old. He was about 16 weeks old, and we had him originally just hanging out with the goats. Ivory came to us just a few months ago. She is about 3 years old. It's an interesting story. I'll try and find the video and link it in. There he is. There's a big guy. I'll try and link it in the description here. But Ivory came to us as an adult dog, and honestly, we couldn't do what we do without these 2. They are, they also love us, but they are great protectors around the farm. They pretty much just roam wherever they want and make their rounds around the farm and keep everybody safe. We have been very fortunate that we haven't had any issues since these 2 came, and we really love having them, and they're just the sweetest dogs. As you can see, they love us and we love them very much. They are Great Pyrenees, so they are full-blood Great Pyrenees, and they're silly, but they're good dogs, and we're happy to have them here on the farm. Look at that face. How can you not love that face? Oh, you think, big guy. So this is our sheep flock. We have 10 ewes and 10 ram lambs that we graze sort of on the perimeters of the farm. We use them really to clean up some of the pastures that aren't doing so well, or that we need to take back where some of the brush and everything has encroached. So the 10 ram lambs are actually going to be going to the butcher in just about a month, actually. And then the ewes we will overwinter. Some of them are bred and we expect them to be lambing anytime. And hopefully we'll get some more either ram lambs. Actually, I could use both because we would like to increase the size of our flock and also have some rams that we can take to the butcher. So we do sell lamb meat. So these guys are both multi-purpose, one for breeding stock and also for, selling the meat. So these guys are Katahdins. They're a hair sheep, so we don't have to shear them, which is really nice. But yeah, they're kind of, they just do their thing. They're like the cows. They just kind of graze around. We move them and everybody is good to go. We are planning on keeping one of these ram lambs as a breeder to breed to future ewes because, hi. We do need a ram. So I'm not sure which one we're gonna keep. It doesn't really matter. We'll keep like the healthiest looking one, and yeah, then we'll be breeding. But they do a pretty good job of cleaning up the pastures, and we're pretty happy to have them here. So we'll see what we end up getting. Hopefully they do lamb in just a couple of weeks. We've been watching them and making sure that everybody is okay. But hopefully these guys can all lamb on their own because that's kind of the idea. Anyway, so this is our sheep flock. Like I said, they're all Katahdins, and yeah, we really like having sheep on the farm. So this is our pig pasture. You can't see them because they are hiding in there. We raise old spots. It's a heritage breed. They are a great pig for farm and homestead use. I began raising pigs just for myself. I just had a couple, and then, of course, we just expanded and expanded and expanded. It is honestly the best tasting pork I have ever had in my entire life. So we raise about 30 to 50 a year, and obviously we sell those to the public. We do keep some for ourselves because we love it so much, but we rotate the pigs through our pastures. They have about quarter-acre paddocks that we rotate weekly, and it gives them just enough time that they can graze and till up a little bit, and then we move them to the next spot. So we really like having pigs on the farm. They are awesome. They're the easiest animals to raise. You just feed them. We feed ours about twice a week and make sure that they have fresh water every day, move them every week, and that's really it. They're just great. So one thing that is going to be changing with the pigs is we are actually hopefully getting a breeding sow. I have never bred pigs before, so I'm excited for that new adventure. She is I believe a 3-year-old sow. She is an old spot. And yeah, hopefully we'll be getting her in the next couple weeks. She's bred and expected to farrow. That's farm talk for having babies. She's expected to farrow within the next month or so. So hopefully we'll be getting her soon, and then we will be raising our own pigs instead of buying them from the breeder. So these are our Cornish cross meat chickens. Like I said, the broiler chickens, the meat chickens, are a huge part of our farm. They're where we got started. They're the bulk of what we do sell. And we like to think that we have sort of a unique, just a unique process here. We do raise Cornish cross, which is the industry standard for a meat bird. However, we raise them on a no soy certified organic ration, and we pasture them. So they are getting moved every single day to a new spot of fresh grass. As they get older, like these guys, they're about 8 weeks old. Starting at about 6 to 7 weeks, we move them actually twice a day, just to make sure that they have the best grass possible. So they get the opportunity to scratch through the grass, to find bugs, to, just be a real chicken. And the taste on these guys is absolutely amazing because of it. So again, these are our Cornish cross. This is a huge part of our farm, probably the biggest and most important part of our farm, just because we sell so many of them, and it's really where we got started farming with livestock. The chickens were one of the first things that we did. So we use these schooners. They're 12 by 24, and they can house about 180 to 200 broilers in each one. And so they get moved out here at about week 4, and they stay in these from week 4 all the way up to about week 8 or 9 when we take them to the processor. Cornish cross do sometimes get a bad rap when it comes to raising them, but we have found that if you treat them properly and you understand the type of bird that they are not a layer chicken. You can't treat them like that. You have to treat them like a broiler. You feed them different and you raise them differently. We have found that they really do, act like a regular chicken. They scratch, they peck, they chase bugs. When we move these schooners to a new spot, these guys go after all the grasshoppers and crickets and everything that come up out of the grass in the new grass. So you can see them back there. Yeah, there's some laying around, but there's also a whole bunch of them that are walking around and pecking and just hanging out and doing what chickens do. So we really like the Cornish cross, and I don't think we would raise anything else for meat. Well, we finished that just in time. It just started sprinkling out here. So we are back inside the barn. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I hope you had fun seeing all of the animals, both personal and business, that make up our farm. Besides the house animals, our 2 dogs, Cassia and Griff, our black and yellow lab, and then our plethora of cats. We have 9 cats. Ridiculous, I know. And what's really crazy about that is 8 of those cats made the trip from California all the way out here. That's crazy. So we've got our 9 cats and then our box turtle, Perry, that we found in our front yard. So again, thanks for hanging out with us today. Olivia and I appreciate it. And we hope you had fun seeing just a small glimpse into all the things that make up Oak and Barrel Meats. Take care, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.